proven? What was proven last night?
That physical teams always beat finesse teams. And every day of the week, that's what happens. And it happened in this game. Were you really surprised by this? I wasn't.
Why not? Because of the physicality of the Eagles on both lines.
Absolutely. And, we get to they had 4 fourth-down plays, right, where they run the brotherly shove.
Right.
They never stopped it. So guess what? We're going to keep doing it. And to me, that was about being physical. Look, Miami, that was the best I've seen Miami's defense play all year, and they still got beat by them. Yeah. And so, to me, the better team won, and it's not surprising.
Well, the other thing is this, too. If you watch The Equalizer 3, Denzel Washington is 79 years old, and he's beating up all these young Italians by just setting a watch. That's exactly what the Philadelphia Eagles were yesterday. They were the equalizer. When you think about the Miami Dolphins, let's look at the teams they've beaten. The Chargers, the Pats, the Broncos, the Giants, and the Panthers. That is not a murderous row of NFL teams. But when you play the Buffalo Bills, you get your doors blown off. You go to Philly, and the physicality in the run game shows up. Fletcher Cox, Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter. They absolutely controlled the line of scrimmage. And when you do that, you make Tua Tagovailoa play with an eye patch on. Yeah. And what I mean by that is now his progressions, now the play action doesn't move football players or doesn't move the defense like you can when the run gets going. And when Tyreek Hill has an opportunity to walk into the end zone and he doesn't, I really think that changed the tenor of the game as well. You miss a fourth down when you try to go outside. It's a bang-bang play. It could have been a pass interference. The Philadelphia Eagles were the better team. The Philadelphia Eagles were the more focused teams. And I said last week, this would be the serious Philly, we're not changing demeanor, win over like the fun-loving, let's go have a good time and play. And last night it did.
Yeah, I think Mike McDaniel, the head coach of Miami, is going to have to adjust here. To your point, those two games, Buffalo and Philly, the motions didn't impact the defense as much as he wanted to. He didn't get I want to say easy or free chunk plays for their offense. The only really good offense that they had last night was Tua making big-time throws downfield. So when they weren't able to do that on offense, it led to a bunch of third and longs. That's not how any offense wants to play. Certainly one against the Philadelphia defense. Hassan Reddick, the plan to try to impact Hassan Reddick was not successful. They were trying to crack him, trying to get tossed his way, trying to bootleg his way. It did not work. And so I think with Mike McDaniel, you're sitting there going, okay, our motions didn't impact the game. We never got Philly to play defensively in doubt. And so therefore, we were playing to our C game. And I think what I want to see with Mike McDaniel with those two games is the defense hasn't taken kind of what you've offered it. You know what I'm saying? Like Buffalo, we talked about it. The zone defense. That's all Philly did was they played great zone defense, too high safety. They didn't allow anything after the catch. No, I don't remember one play last night that was big yards after the catch. I want to see how Mike McDaniel progresses as a coach when defenses are played to that style. I love that
That's
arrogance.
real talk, though. And people are trying. It's not like people aren't trying to implement this into their offense because it does work. And we've watched whether it's the New York Giants, the Los Angeles Chargers, we've seen these different teams attempt it, and they don't have the people for it. But when you look at Jalen Hurts, Jason Kelsey, you have A.J. Brown, who you're talking about just emerged. More than anything, he's an absolute unit behind pushing. This is very different what they can do. And there's a level of fear you have as a defense that every first down, we're playing for 4 snaps. We don't get to hold you to 8 yards or 9.5 yards and just believe that you're going to punt it because there's 100% belief you can pick up the last yard.
Yeah, and I think it's ridiculous that people are saying they should outlaw this play. Why? Because they're so good at it? They're converting 93%, okay? I get it. That shouldn't be the reason you take it out of the game.
The reason one would say you take it out of the game is if it's a dangerous play. If more players are apt to get hurt. That would be the only. You can't take a play out because one team is so good at it. You could take it out in theory if you felt it was more dangerous. But let's put that to the side. Rex Ryan is the one man alive, and this should come as no surprise, who said to me this morning, oh, Greeny, I could stop that thing like that. How are you stopping the unstoppable play?
I'm putting 12 guys on the field. But the first thing, you have to get underneath the center. If you don't have leverage underneath, yes, you can. You can. It's just your technique has to change. And you've got to flatten your palms down. You got to get your tail up, and you've got to drive them out. It's not the other way. Everything, their pad levels are even or higher than the offensive linemen. So you can't do that.
You got to root underneath.
You've got to root them. Root hog or die.
It's like
root hog or die.
It's like a puke of people in there, though, right? Like when you look at it, it's just like throw up of humans. And you just can't stop it. Jason Kelsey is so low, and those splits are so tight. And their quarterback is a freaking monster. Like, it's a fullback with an arm.
Yeah. Right.
It is so difficult to stop that play. And you have to, I honestly think, you have to be willing to get hurt. Defensively, you have to be willing to say, we can do things and we're willing to do things to stop this play that other humans aren't. It's so difficult.
Your mentality has to be, no, we're knocking the hell out of them. All right, we can fit them in there too.
Your mentality has to be, you have to win second down. If you get them to third and 5,
but I'm saying this, my mentality, I'm never going to concede anything. I can assure you that. I'm going to try to get underneath him and knock the heck out of him.
If I were to turn to you and say, I know he was the MVP of the league a couple of years ago, but that was the best game I've ever seen Lamar Jackson play, what would you say?
That you wouldn't be wrong. And I picked the Baltimore Ravens this summer to go to the Super Bowl, and I backed off of that pick because I wasn't seeing the progression of the offense. Yesterday was the perfect mix of what Todd Monken wants to do with Lamar Jackson and Lamar Jackson elevating his play. When you look at the way this game started, they start with a naked boot. Then it's an RPO pass to Odell Beckham Jr., and then you give a high-low dig to Zay Flowers that he turns into yards after the catch. And Lamar Jackson was perfect through those first 3 plays. And I feel like that was the start they needed as a team and as an offense. And then it just continued to snowball. If Lamar Jackson plays this way, he's absolutely an MVP candidate and a guy that's a front runner. But more importantly, the Baltimore Ravens are a Super Bowl favorite because Mike Macdonald defensively has this team hunting behind Roquan Smith. And when Lamar Jackson plays that way, there's nothing you can do with it.
Watching that yesterday makes me so giddy about Baltimore. That's one of the best passing games I've ever seen Lamar have. And I would say this, like, this is a now top 5 passing offense in the NFL. The Baltimore Ravens. 3 things that I absolutely love. The use of Zay Flowers in motion. You start him inside, you motion him outside. Communication by Detroit. Now, what that does is it forces the defensive back to play outside of now number 2, Rashad Bateman, who's an inbreaker. This is easy. Multiple times yesterday, the use of Zay Flowers in motion was huge. The second thing, the tempo change. Watch how quickly they get to the line of scrimmage. Now, this is huge. Right when Lamar puts his hand underneath the center, we're snapping the football. Detroit's not even set. And then it's a little ball flake. That's how Mark Andrews gets so wide open because that's new under Todd Monken. The change of tempo. The third thing, play action out of 12 personnel. I love it. Mark Andrews and Patrick Ricard in the game. We have a post, a crosser, and a dig. Number 1, the post. Okay, it's not there. Number 2, the crosser. Okay, it's not there. Number 3, Lamar, get to it. And then, oh my gosh, that throw over that linebacker is so good. We saw that so many times yesterday. Lamar Jackson in play action yesterday was unbelievable. And the layered throws, that's like...
Dan, I have a question for you, too. Was this the most that Todd Monken mixed it up, though? 100%. It seemed like more movement in the backfield for Lamar Jackson, getting him off the spot, but also the route concepts in the drop-back game seemed different. How different was it from what we've seen this year?
Totally. The motion use has gone up. Like, they're trying to, manipulate the defense with that. The play action and, like, changing the launch points. And you guys know this better. Like, moving Lamar from behind the center to behind the guard is a big deal because the play action concept that it impacts, it also changes his vision. And then the way that they're using certain people in the play action game with a Zay Flowers or a Mark Andrews, it's in the change of tempo. Right now, the Todd Monken offense in Baltimore, I love.
Rex, what was the first thing you said to me this morning?
About the Ravens? About the Ravens?
Yeah.
They should be undefeated. They really should be. And when you look at it, they lose to Pittsburgh. They dropped 8 passes that game. That 3 touchdowns they should have had.
Right.
So this team, oh my gosh, are you right? And when you put up the play action, all right, it wasn't just the run fake because the run fake did nothing in that situation. What it does, it gives you way more guys in protection, allows Lamar to sit back there, and that's why those deep shots and things like that. He finally has a core of receivers that have the skill set to beat people down the
Rex,
field.
They're a top 5 pass game right now. The Baltimore Ravens.
But it's built on protection first, which he's never had.
Yeah.
And so to me, that's what I see from this team right here. That's the encouraging thing. You mentioned the defense. Roquan Smith.
Monster.
Ever since this guy came on board, now they're back to playing Raven defense.
They are.
All right? That's how good this player is. He tilts the field. All right? The way he intimidated the running backs, he intimidated all those things. To me, he's a beast. So they haven't had that since a guy was in the middle there many, many years ago.
Yeah, named Ray Lewis. Yeah.
You want to know what else I liked about the game? When Lamar used his legs, it felt like he was using his legs because he needed to and create pass game stuff rather than we can't get anything else going on offense, so we have to run Lamar. It felt, when I say needed to because no one was open downfield or he had to get away from some pressure stuff.
Like, what I love about that is he only had to be special when he had to be special. And it sounds really simple.
No,
but for so long in his career, we've asked him to be special every single snap. Lamar, do something that other people can't do. When yesterday it was, we have enough time in the pocket, I can scramble around and make some plays, find Nelson Aguilar. It was 4th and 1, let's use his legs to get in the end zone. But it wasn't, let's put everything on Lamar.
Well, Lamar Jackson, I think, has always been a special athlete. Now he's a special thrower.
Yep.
And so to me, that is the difference of this team.
The touch throws, I'm telling you, the layered throws that we're seeing him place over second-level defenders is really big time.